Hey, what's going on, y'all? I know it's been pretty much an extended wait on the next video, but I really had to take my time, sit down, do quite a bit of research on this topic we're going to tackle today. I touched on it a while back, sometime last year. I know it was a long while ago, probably almost been about a year ago. But anyway, today we're going to be speaking on ownership and equity. If you follow me on any of my social media platforms, you already know that is something I harp on: independence, self-reliance, self-preservation. Just seeking ownership and equity in everything we do, serving our interests properly, putting ourselves in position, to grow and not stay stagnant. One of the things I remind people of all the time, I'm going to remind you of this system, this great nation, this place that we're within. They're never going to give us as much. They're only going to give us enough. And that's something I want you to keep in mind, no matter what walk of life you're in, middle class, upper class, lower class, whatever it may be, keep that in mind. The game is not designed to really, give us what we need to thrive. The game is really designed for us to maintain, be good followers, give us a great set of rules that helps a hierarchy, helps them function well while we stay low, and we just keep the machine well oiled and running. And like I said, today's topic is going to be ownership and equity. Before I get into the full spill, I just want to drop something on you. Not just my race, many races, many ethnicities, many different backgrounds came from slavery. A lot of times in slavery, once you afforded the plantation or, whoever it may be with X amount of years of your life, you were granted your freedom. Upon getting your freedom, sometimes you were just set free to go. Sometimes you were given land, whatever the case may be. Sometimes, you would have I don't know if you would call them a nice slave owner. I don't know what you would call it. But anyway, that would give you certain things upon your exit, if you actually made it out. If you gave them, X amount of years of your life. It was really like a working system. I want to remind you, slavery has not ended. Slavery is just... Slavery has almost been coached and programmed into our heads that it's something we need. It's actually called a job. And just to further break it down, is retirement and that severance pay or that end-all result for a slave any different? You give them, 25, maybe 30, maybe 40, 45 years of your life, to your elder days, and then they hit you off with a retirement payment, or they hit you off with a check monthly, as a thank you, I suppose. Just keep that in mind. If our ancestors 300 to 400 years ago went through the same dealings, where's the evolution and where's the growth if we're doing the same thing now? If they could dress it up with benefits, if they could dress it up with holiday pay, and they could dress it up, with 401ks and health insurance to make us feel, all googly inside, and we just sign right up and sign our lives over, where's the difference? And again, disclaimer, these things are always my opinion and my perspective, but I feel like the workplace is the modern day slave trade. We don't necessarily get picked by the highest bidder. We've actually been programmed to go find the highest bidder. So if you pay me 20 grand and he's paying 30, I'm probably going to go with the guy that pays 30 because I've been programmed to believe that the dollar is also important. And, I'm going to give you my Monday through my Friday for the rest of my young life so I can get that 30 to 40 grand a year. But anyway, I just want to throw that out there. Again, my ideology on the workplace, I feel like it's modern day slavery. The same principles apply. The same end result applies. But let's get into the spill. So, like I was telling you guys about ownership and equity and serving your interests properly, I know a lot of us have to start somewhere. Don't get me wrong. I'm not knocking anybody because I started somewhere. I was raised in a blue collar family and felt, you gotta get your high school diploma and then you go get your degree and then you go find your dream job and you work your way up and you pay your debts back and then you just live a great life. I'm not knocking anyone who's on that path. I'm just giving my opinion from somebody who walked that path for several years and found a different way. Understand, I believe we all start somewhere, but I do believe we all have hidden talents. We all have many things that we can do. We all have special gifts. We all have hobbies. We all have things that we would rather love doing than answering a call, than working at a desk or whatever the case may be. Now, if you're exactly doing what you're doing, I commend you because I feel like that's what life is all about. Living your way. That's why it's your life. That's why you were born, by yourself and you go in the box by yourself. So anybody, if you are working, but that is what you choose to do and you're not settling, you're not falling victim to monetary pressure, I commend you and I salute you because me, myself, I was miserable. But anyway, like I was saying, we have to start somewhere, and I'm not knocking anybody. These places are a great source of information. I know me myself, I worked at the sheriff's office for 4 years. I was a 911 dispatcher. I learned a lot about the chain of command. I learned a lot about checks and balances within, paying attention and listening on certain conversations, eavesdropping every chance I could and just gaining all the gaming information I could. Did I have in mind that they were going to fire me 4 years later? Not at all. But I've always been a thinking man, and I've always paid attention to my surroundings. So I had a keen eye, in the ear for listening out to everything that was going on. And like I tell you guys all the time, we have to infiltrate. Go ahead, get in. Have you got to work your way in there, get the information. And like I said, we all start somewhere, so I'm not knocking anybody trying to build the capital to finally go assess the dream. But like I said, y'all, we got to infiltrate. While we're there, we got to get all the information we can. We got to educate. And then when it's time to get the hell out, we have to vacate. I know a lot of my people, and I've been with dreams. When I first started out in business, and I was dead broke, I had all my family calling me saying, hey man, why don't you try this? Go get this job here. But, I'm very stubborn. And I'm strong in my beliefs. I'll die by the things I believe in. So I stood firm. I planted my feet, and I said, "The hell with your opinions. If it's the hard way, I'm just going out the hard way." And I say that to say this, y'all. We gotta again infiltrate, educate, then vacate. Get all the information you can while you're there. Yes, we want in temporarily. Then we need to get the hell out. And like I tell people on the last video, we have to stop working for money and make it work for us. Otherwise, we'll be working for it forever. Again. Build a foundation or you'll forever be stuck on a plantation. There is no way you can honestly believe that you're going to see your highest potential when another man owns not only the floor, the ladder, the walls, and the ceiling. This man gauges your growth within his company. There's no way you can believe that, he created his business 80 years ago. He's going to make you a partner. You're just going to be, boss hogging at the top with him. It's not logical. We have to change the mentality. We have to we have to exercise our right to be individuals. We have to exercise our gifts. And even if you are within these companies, if you're comfortable, I'm not even going to say that's cool because in my opinion, that's not cool. But again, just seek ownership and equity. Start thinking about break down the take home. Break down those long hours from taxes. I know, a lot of us do overtimes and we get these great big checks and we're not thinking in the long run, how these cycles play out long term. Start getting your checks and breaking down what they really feel like your hour and your minute is worth. It's some things in life, like I tell people all the time, the intangibles count. I believe time is more valuable. Time and information is more valuable, than any tangible item. Y'all gotta excuse me in a phone call. I believe that time and information is more valuable than any tangible item in the world. Money, cars, clothes, jewelry, whatever it may be. Thinking about the time you're losing with the family, with the son that plays football, the daughter that cheerleads, it may be an ill parent, a time to even build yourself up. That time you're spending giving away for X amount of dollars that they feel like you're worth, you could be reading a book to help you further yourself, in your independent lane, or whatever gifts you're trying to tackle, whatever talents you have. And like I said, y'all, we got to stop falling victim to monetary pressure. I've been broke with a dream. I had people in my ear telling me, man, you got babies, man, you got to do this, you got to do that. But I stayed firm, y'all. I haven't punched the clock. April 6th made my anniversary for my first business. But February made 4 years that I haven't punched the clock, and I don't plan on ever punching one again unless I'm the CEO at the top of the company and somebody needs help with their time cards. Like I was saying, y'all, just break down the take home, break down the retirement, break down the 401k, and that's one of the biggest things I found again within infiltrating and educating myself on 401ks. Now I'm going to give you a quick rundown. And one of my resale businesses I deal with pre-orders, meaning it may be something that comes out in December. I'll take your money right now as a pre-order, and the item that you want in December has now been held for you, so you're guaranteed your item. Use logic for a second. If I take 100 pre-orders for $100. We're at 10 grand. I have 10 grand in my hand right now that's due in December. Don't believe for 1 minute if I run into an emergency from June to December that your free 10 grand that I have in my hand right now doesn't come into play. And this is what I'm getting at with 401k. Again, disclaimer, my opinion, I feel like 401k is for the people that may be non-creative, the people that may love security, and the people that just may be simply lazy. Why do we need higher up strangers whom we never met that we let break each check flip our money for us. That makes no sense at all to me. I mean, I have my kids with a lemonade stand. Currently, they're learning how to flip money at age 4 and 7. There's no reason why us as adults, again, tapping into our talents, our gifts, just you know, and even if we haven't found our niche, tapping into different markets to make our money flip for us, where we control it. To the fact that if you go get it before this unknown stranger says it's time, he can tax you on it, and IRS is going to tax you on it anyway. He can penalize you. How? Logically, how is it fair for a stranger to penalize you on some money that he didn't help you work for at all? And understand, if he has $100 grand in advance and he knows 30 years down the road you're gonna need it because that's when you cash out, trust and believe. He's gonna do a little vacationing. He's got a whole bunch of nice cars. Cause listen, trust me, I've dealt with that business and I've dealt with pre-orders. Understand logically. All I need to do is say, hey, by December, I got to have 10 grand back in the account. So this is what I'm going to do. Every new payment I get, I'm going to pinch a percentage off to build back what I spent. But in the meantime, we headed to Cancun because I just cashed out on a quick 10 grand. Understand? Which is we're feeding an unknown machine. We don't even know these strangers. They don't know us from a can of paint. Probably don't care about us. We're just a number in the book that sends a certain amount of money every day. Stop needing strangers to flip your money. You know, benefits and vacation. We don't need strangers to tell us when we can vacation. We don't need strangers to tell us what doctor they advise we go to buy poison that's gonna help us die anyway. You know, that's a whole nother subject, a whole nother video. I'm not really into the healthcare system. I feel like insurance, I feel like it's a robbery and a scam too. But that's a whole nother video. But they don't need to dictate how we flip money. We don't need help from strangers flipping money. We don't need help from strangers picking vacation times. We don't need help from strangers dictating if we're sick enough, if we should stay in the bed or not. We can do that on our own. And again, y'all, let's go back to serving your interests properly. Ownership and equity. Stop giving up 30 years of your life for nothing. For like 2% of the company because they're going to hit you off with two grand every month, you know, until you die. Or they're going to hit you off with that big check of 50, 60 grand when you die. We can flip our own money. If you can count to 10, if you can multiply a little bit, do a little bit of subtraction, you can flip your own money. Profit is not the hardest thing in America. Like I said, my kids have a lemonade stand. It is easy as ABC 1, 2, 3. We gotta unlearn and relearn. Get out of the programming. We can be independent. We can be owners. We don't have to fall in line, to a higher chain or obtain all this debt just to live fruitful lives. We don't need them. Understand, they need us. If you and every employee at your business walked out right now, your CEO cannot run a company solo. And don't you let them forget that. The moment they do, open your mouth and exercise your right to be an individual. These companies do not run without us. Ownership and equity. Let's move on. And again, y'all, just speaking on the example part of, ownership and equity and serving your interests properly. Partaking in what I call the modern day slave trade, what do we teach our children? And I'm going to tell you what, something I'm currently working on is called reverse dependence. And I was speaking on it earlier with my children, how I got them out there making their own money. Because I'm trying to breed independence, self-reliance, and get them in the groove of doing their own thing so they're not relying on other people, for fruitful lives. But back to that, what examples are we giving them? We're pretty much, and again, when you embed that programming that a lot of us, including me, were embedded with, you're pretty much just, recycling that mentality and setting them up for the slave trade. And this is really my ideology when it comes to parents and children with that mentality. It's very simple. I'm your daddy. Me and mom made you. I'm going to raise you up till you're 18, maybe 16 to 18. And then I'm going to encourage you to go find a new daddy because he is now going to be the person who tells you about your posture, how to wear your hair, how to wear your clothes, what tattoos you can cover, how to open your mouth, how to look people in the eye. He's going to pretty much guide you on the entire lifestyle Monday through Friday. He's going to become your new father. You're going to become solely dependent on him from simple things like toilet tissue to wipe you behind, toothpaste, socks, the most minuscule things, rice in the kitchen, sugar, water, the most simplest minuscule things. I'm going to encourage you to go find him. And he's going to come, at 18, he's going to become your new father. And then guess what? When the payment that he feels like you're worth is not, it's not adequate enough, it's not good enough to subsidize your lifestyle, then you got to come back to your original daddy anyway and ask for help. Then, as joint fathers, we'll then help you grow even more. And again, y'all, ownership and equity and mentality. If you program like this, I can only imagine what programming the children are now getting. You're encouraging them to, sign up. Go be underpaid for what you're worth, just as long as you're comfortable and, you can rely on security. We have to break free of that.